Hi, I'm Amber. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today I'd like to share with you a word about hope, specifically for those times in our lives where we feel as if we have little or no hope left inside of us. Maybe we've been praying over someone or over a situation for a long time and we haven't received the answer from God that we expected or the help that we so desperately need. Maybe we're feeling frustration or anger towards God or disappointment. Maybe we've experienced a loss, the loss of a loved one, of a relationship, of a marriage, of a home, or a job. We may even feel doubt or distrust in who God is, in His love for us, in His protection, or in His provision. What do I do in these moments? How do I get my hope back? Let me encourage you to share all of those hard emotions with God. We read of this in the Psalms where psalmists pour out feelings of loneliness and despair, frustration and anger. Feel the freedom to share the hard feelings with God. In Hebrews, we're invited to come before God's throne in confidence because we have a high priest in Jesus who knows what it's like to be human. But here's what's key. Don't stop there. And the psalmists, after those hard feelings that they share, they always come back with praise and thanksgiving and worship for who God is, what He's done for them in the past, and what He promises to do in the future. We must follow this pattern in prayer. Exodus 34:6-7 is God's self-declaration of who He is. He tells us that He is a God of compassion and graciousness, that He's slow to anger, that He's full of loyal love and faithfulness. This is the truth of God's name and character. Feel the freedom to declare to God who He is and thank Him for that knowledge. Next, I want to encourage you to thank God for what He's already done for you in the past. There is a power in giving God thanks and naming every single gift, and this can be difficult in those dark times. But you might just thank God for a warm cup of coffee or a hug from a friend or a walk in your neighborhood. We know that every perfect and good gift is from God. Next, I want to remind you to thank God for what He promises to do for you in the future. God's word is so full of promises. But let me direct you towards Romans chapter 8, where He tells us that He's working out all things for the good of those who love Him, and that we are more than conquerors through Him, and that there is nothing, not life or death, nor things present, nor things to come, that can separate us from God's love. Last, I want to remind you to be patient with God. 1 Corinthians 13 tells us that love is patient, and so part of loving God is being patient with Him and trusting in His perfect timing. This might mean that we have to wait until God returns in full, when Jesus' kingdom comes back completely, for us to receive that perfect healing, that perfect renewal, that perfect resurrection. But when He does return, He promises us in Revelation 21 that He will wipe away every tear, that there will be no more death and no more mourning, no more pain and no more crying, for He will make all things new. My prayer for us today is that we would feel the freedom to express our darkest emotions to God in our difficult times, but that we would remember to declare the truth of who He is, the truth of what He has already done for us, and the truth of what He promises to do for us in the future. May God bless you, and thank you for listening.